In international rugby, no two countries have played each other as much as New Zealand and Australia. It all started back in 1903, but it wasn't until 1931 that the famous Bledisloe Cup was played for between the All Blacks and the Wallabies. It's on the line again over 3 games this year and starts tonight here at the ANZ Stadium in Sydney, with Australia trying to regain it for the first time in a decade. Inside the All Black dressing room we go as we meet the All Blacks for tonight, and vast experience here. Tony Woodcock, test number 99, Owen Franks approaching his 50th. And the Crusaders pair of Sam Whitelock and Luke Romano appeared in the second row, as they were for the last 2 tests against the French. Late change in the loose, Stephen Luatua in for Liam Messam, and of course the return of Richie McCaw. The Manawatu pairing of the 2 Aarons, Cruden and Smith, and a big night for the number 10, replacing Dan Carter. And for the 47th time in a test match, the combination of Ma'anonu and Conrad Smith, an All Black record. And the lethal back 3 of Israel Dag, Julian Sevilla, and one of the best this season in Ben Smith. And 8 players on the bench these days, both Ben Franks and Charlie Famawina covering at prop. And Ryan Crotty, well, he could well become an All Black tonight, coming off the bench. So those are the 23 in the All Black party for tonight. And joining me in commentary, former All Black Justin Marshall.
Yes, good evening, Grant. Good evening, everybody. Well, what an exciting prospect as we look at this Australian team. Well, there's no lack of experience in the front row for the Wallabies tonight, with Ben Alexandra, Stephen Moore and James Slipper. Well, James Horwell, he leads this new generation team from lock. And again, he's partnered by Rod Simmons, and they are a lethal combination for the Australians and vitally important. A 5-year absent from the international scene, and Hugh McMiniman gets another roll of the dice with Hooper, Moen and Loose. World's best 9 in Guinea, and all the talk though has been the hot seat 10 jersey of Matt Tamua. The veteran of the backline is Ashley Cooper, and Lalifano has the game to break any defence open. Highly exciting and dangerous back 3 in Mogg, Folau and O'Connor, but also it's their first start together in such a big match. To the reserves, plenty of youth and enthusiasm in the forward reserves with all of these players tonight. And finally, well, we're all excited and we all want to know, the big question with the back reserves is how long before Quade Cooper gets a chance, and then when he does, just what can he bring to the contest?
Thank you, Justin. So a look inside the Wallaby dressing room. Let's go outside though, get conditions with Ian Smith. Smithy.
Nisbo, absolutely perfect. It's a hard, fast track. I assessed it with both Grant Fox and Tim Hoare, and they said if anyone wants to go quick tonight, they've got perfect conditions. Wind-wise, outside the stadium, it's been a bit gusty, but inside, pretty well protected with these high sides and a big crowd in here as well. They said they were struggling for numbers, but when Richie McCaw gets out there, you'll know he's in Australia.
Yes, absolutely. Just looking around the ground, it doesn't look to be too far short of capacity. So you'd have to think there are over 70,000 here tonight for this test match. The All Blacks sitting on 99 test wins against the Wallabies. And Richie McCaw, in his 80th test match as the All Black captain, brings them out. And there's plenty of Kiwi support in the ground, as you'd expect here in Sydney. Well, a really big night for Stephen Luatua. He's had about 10 minutes as an All Black, and there'll be some nerves there for sure. He got about 10 minutes in that test match in New Plymouth against the French, called in just on Thursday to replace Liam Messam, and he's got a big part to play in the All Blacks' performance here tonight. Right, it's the start of a new era in Australian rugby under Ewan McKenzie and James Horwell, and there'll be quite some reception. The first of 3 times this season that the Wallabies will face the Haka. And it's got to be said, Justin, this is a super crowd. People were saying maybe only 65. You have to say if it holds 82, that there's at least 75,000 here.
Absolutely. I think they said that they weren't going to fill it up. But it's been a beautiful day here in Sydney. We've got a wonderful night, so we've got a walk-up crowd, and we're very close to full house, which is great, and it's a fitting occasion. Look at the passion, look at the pride of the All Blacks as they perform the Haka. The first time the likes of Israel Folau, Tamua have faced the Haka. What a moment for them. Now they've got to get on with it. Can they produce what their coach is hoping is going to really set this new era off on fire?
The best in the world will have the whistle tonight. Craig Joubert, we saw him a couple of weeks ago do the Super Rugby final in Hamilton. And it's an all South African team tonight. Jaco Piper, Laurent van der Merwe are the assistant referees, and Sean Veldsman is the television match official. So all is in readiness for the start of the Bledisloe Cup 2013 and the start of the Rugby Championship as well, also involving Argentina and South Africa. And away we go then, the 147th Test match between these 2 great rugby nations, and taken in by the Wallabies, and Genia gets it away and taken up there by Michael Hooper. Now Genia and Jesse Mogg on the left boot, sending it down as far as Dag, and the All Blacks will return in kind. And that's beautifully taken in. But stolen away by Aaron Smith, and off goes the little halfback, and a real chance here.
Oh, big tackle.
Was a big tackle on McCaw. Now Smith whips it across Tononu. He in turn goes wide. Nice little flip pass. Here's Cruden, the little kick and chase. And he regained it, but it's gone across the touchline. And plenty of action in the first 30 seconds of the game.
Oh, there certainly is. Well, Richie McCaw, the questions were asked about him, the physicality. He hasn't faced this since November. Well, he's felt it in the first opening couple of minutes. He got hit and hit hard, but he bounced straight back up. The All Blacks look good on counter-attack. They've created a 5-metre line out. Expect him to drive from here. The halfback's gone back. He's come in now, Smith.
Quickly thrown, taken in by Luatua, who gets an early chance. They're nicely set here. Kieran Reid holding the ball in the back. Now they're getting close, trying to keep it as straight as possible. Now they go again, spinning away to the right, finally to ground, having a drive at the line. McCaw snaps it up. Now here's a go by Romano, getting close. Referee's got the arm out here. And now Smith works it away. Here's Cruden having a go. Right in front of the post. Hoare gets it wide, quick hands. Just couldn't make the pass to Dag, but it's still there. And Aaron Smith again calling it up. And some really good defence so far by the Wallabies. How much longer as Nonu backs his way in. Now here's Aaron Smith again, works it away. Cruden got the pass away, and Ben Smith scores the opening try of the game.
What a ball from Cruden. Well, he was the man that had to step into the big shoes of Dan Carter. The way he drifted across there, got the ball out the back of the hand. The magic hands of Aaron Cruden to offload to Ben Smith. This guy, he can do nothing but score tries this year. But also, do not underestimate the work of Aaron Smith. The way he drifted across, held defenders. Look at him go. Hold defenders. Got outside. That enabled Cruden to get outside. O'Connor came in. The offload out the back door. Smithy, what a start from the All Blacks.
James O'Connor wouldn't mind this moment back when he committed himself, because the tackle was being made on Cruden. He committed himself inside, and that presented that little overlap, that little gap that out wide that Ben Smith needed. The pass went behind him, but because O'Connor was nowhere in sight, Leali'ifano could not get across in time. That's a great start. And the way the All Blacks involved almost every player, Luatua taking the line out, being instrumental in the drive. Owen Franks, a good run at the line early on. This is the moment we've been waiting for too. An early kick for Aaron Cruden, a confidence builder for all concerned.
So, Cruden. Oh, that's a good-looking kick. It is an excellent kick. That really is a confidence booster for Aaron Cruden as he sets up the try for Ben Smith, converts it, and the All Blacks are ahead by 7-0. Try number 5 for Ben Smith, his first against the Wallabies. And play goes inside the All Black territory with the kickoff. Claimed by Nonu. Taken down in the finish. Took a while though. Now Aaron Smith coming down, and offside play here against Julian Savea. He beat the gun.
Well, he was unlucky, Savea, because when Smith initially went to kick, there was a player impeding his kick, so he took an extra step back. Savea had already started his run, and because of that, he just got slightly ahead of Smith. He anticipated the kick as he should do, but Smith had to take an extra step, so he got in front. Mog's going to step up, have the Wallabies' first shot at the post.
That's an interesting call from James Hall, and early points are key to their situation. Just have a look again. The delay, yes, he was quite clearly a couple of metres in front. In fact, one or two where Luatua might have been on the right as well. But this is an interesting call. I think Hall thought about using Mog's left foot to get them in the corner and into a really attacking line-out situation. He's got to get some reward for this decision.
Is he slightly downwind with this kick?
No, not really. Justin, it's you know, these circular stadiums, they get a bit swirly. I mean, I try to test a win on a number of occasions. It's very, very minimal, if anything. I don't think there's an issue with distance here at all.
Oh, it's a nice strike. Oh, just drifting. Off the boot, it looked really good, but it just drifted. And it stays 7 points to 0. 6 minutes gone. So the Cruden kick for pushing out of the road, and that'll be a penalty against Kieran Reid. He got there just a little bit too early, and this is a little easier. The angle is not quite so great.
It won't be Mog, will it? You'd have to think that there'll be a change of kickers here. You can see the penalty quite clearly. One, he's taken the jumper out, Kieran Reid. I think Mog is more the long-range specialist. I'd expect Leali'ifano to step up and kick this. He's in sensational kicking form throughout Super Rugby. In fact, he is. So another chance for the Wallabies. The All Blacks will be slightly annoyed. You know, these are cheap penalties, unnecessary ones, slightly offside. And now this one, when they weren't looking like threatening the Wallabies, if they can gain 3 here, it'll be a bit of a confidence boost, I guess, and plus keeps the scoreboard close for them. But he's got to kick it yet.
First chance then, and right down the middle from Leali'ifano, and the Wallabies have their first points. 7-3, nearly 8 minutes gone.
Yeah, well, he's good, this fella. He's got a cool head about him. Doesn't seem to worry too much about the occasion. He was brilliant in the Super 15 final just a fortnight ago. Doesn't need many opportunities.
Cruden's kickoff. And that's bounce. No, it's out on the full.
Slightly surprised there because they use this kickoff a lot, the All Blacks. But Kieran Reid is usually quite wide. He's right on the touchline. Well, maybe it's the winger that should be outside him. Whoever it was, there's nobody right on the touchline. It looked like Kieran Reid was the guy. If somebody was there, they would have stopped it going out in the full. The kick was good enough, but it went slightly over Reid's head, who was infield a bit. Because of that, they didn't regather it. I think the kick was good enough. Just the chasing game wasn't as great.
Okay, here we go. First scrum.
Under the new laws, new calls.
Crouch, bind and set.
Crouch. Bind.
On to the left as we look at it.
Set. Yes, 9.
Looks pretty stable. He's got to wait.
Not straight.
Not put in straight.
Well, we're always going to get that.
Not straight.
This is part of the new initiative as well. So the scrum law change also involves not only the new calls,
Not straight.
but they want
Not straight.
the ball fed in straight from the halfback, and the referees are calling them to get it in. Oh, that looks straight to me, Smithy.
It was almost half a hit there from Australia. I thought we weren't supposed to have those anymore. Seemed to get a really early shove on the All Black scrum there initially.
Well, they're much, much closer.
Yeah.
See how close they are now, and then they'll bind up after the crouch, and then it becomes a contest, a genuine scrum contest. The purists will be loving it. You purist, Nismo?
Yeah, kind of.
Yes, 9.
Okay.
First hit, aren't they? They're getting that first momentum.
So Reid snaps it up. Here comes Cruden. Gives it up to Savia. And the All Blacks, the ball stolen by Hooper. Brilliantly done. Now it's been snapped up by Folau. Moore shifting it on. And here is James O'Connor. Taken in the tackle of Ben Smith. And Genia stays sideline, so blindside at least, with Stephen Moore. Now Genia once more for Tamua. Just dragged in and no more by Rob Simmons. Very well taken as Genia again. And quick hands. The All Blacks defence is good with Nonu across there. Just on the 10-metre line. Tamua once more. Here's the man who started it all, Michael Hooper, with that excellent turnover. And All Blacks, they're going to get themselves offside here.
7 on your feet through the right.
And it is Richie McCaw. And this is right out in centre field.
It was good from the Wallabies. Initially, I thought that this is going to break down when they moved the ball deep from the left after the Hooper turnover. That the forwards weren't going to offload. They did. They've obviously been encouraged to pass. They got it out to O'Connor, who got right in behind. They spread it again. I think if the pass wasn't behind Simmons, it would have been even better. Here's the Hooper taking it into contact. Cruden's there. McCaw's on his feet. He gets half cleaned out, but there he's off his feet and he's in the way. He gets his foot all over it. Yes, and that's the penalty. He was okay if he just didn't get anywhere near the ball and stop Genia from getting to it, because he had just burst his way through the ruck.
I think in his defence, he got a bit of help from the Wallabies as well, pushing him over onto their side. But yeah, I think there's a clear indication, wasn't there, about the pace the Wallabies want to play at. There's some really good ball skills from the front row there on a number of occasions. Great transfers, and has set up this opportunity. That's the kind of game I think Ewan McKenzie would like them to play against this All Black side tonight.
Well, they've come back well from that early setback, and Ben Smith scored very early in the game. Now, Leilefano adds another 3. So 2 successful penalty goals by Christian Leilefano. 7 points to 6, the All Blacks lead.
And he's not daunted. He's not daunted by the prospect of kicking against the All Blacks in a big Bledisloe Cup. All that expectation the All Blacks need to learn. In those zones, he's very effective, so they can't give away cheap penalties, because he'll punish. Let's see if they go for the short kick-off again, the All Blacks.
Short enough. And beautifully done by Kieran Reid. And he got the pass off too. Came off the ankle of Richie McCaw. That's the call. Crowd not happy as Aaron Smith slips the pass across to Woodcock. And now here is Andrew Hoare feeding it up to Cruden. Solid defence on him, though, by Ben Moen. Now Stephen Luatua. As the All Blacks set it 10 out from the 22, McCaw plows through the middle. Aaron Smith away for Owen Franks. He's taken the head bandage off already.
5 goals.
Almost up to the 22. Now here's Reid, who got it all going. Nice double round by Aaron Smith. Bit of space. Still going. Scooping it up is Romano. Trying to step his way through again. Cruden got the pass, knifes it off to Reid. He in turn finds Nonu.
13 goals.
Smith goes in to help. And there it is again for Aaron Smith. Here's McCaw. Wonderful continuity here by the All Blacks. And, oh no, penalty. Again, it's Hooper over the ball with all rights. And he, so far, has been a menace.
And to be fair, I thought during the Lions series, he's one of the most outstanding players. And I was very surprised. Obviously, George Smith is a quality player, that they decided to not continue that development of him. And we all know that's history now. But my point is, the guy can play. He gets around the field. He's got good ball skills. He's not scared to carry the ball, but he's very good on the ground as well. And he's already shown to the All Blacks that at the breakdown, they need to remove him. They need to find that white headband, and they need to get it out of there because he's the genuine threat.
Fella, sideline, I can tell you, Brodie Retallick is going through some very early warm-up routines. He's got the tracksuit top off, and I think there may be an issue with Romano. Look, Romano, just keep an eye on that, but Retallick is ready.
Okay, quick line-out ball. Genia had to drag it in. Now here's Lealiofano, and a burst up the middle by Ashley Cooper. Now can he link up Adam Ashley Cooper? The All Blacks getting back in defence. Nonu makes the tackle. Now Genia uncertain. In the end goes blindside and puts a little kick through, and Dag clears as far as he can. But Adam Ashley Cooper made a huge hole in the All Black defence. Here's Mogg bringing it back. Good defence on him by Reid. Now Genia, and they go again. Some of the big men out here, though, as Alexander charges off. It was James Slipper. Got his pass away to Palau. Now here is Alexander crashing in. Genia now for... That's a forward pass from Tamua. All Blacks have got to be careful again as it moves across. Tamua, Lealiofano moves it on. Here is O'Connor. Genia again works it away. Tamua just working the All Blacks from one side to the other. Moen decides to straighten it. Held up on a good tackle. It's going to be there again though for Genia, but the All Blacks defensive line looks solid after that big break by Ashley Cooper. Now Rob Simmons takes it in. And penalty this time goes the All Blacks way.
Andrew Hoare.
2 Black arriving player.
Yeah, it is Romano, fellas. He's down on his haunches just in front of the post, so we might not be seeing too much more of him.
Oh, what a bust. Ashley Cooper went through. It was a beautiful front ball at the advantage line. You can see Romano there. He's the man that they're concerned about. I think the big problem with that break was James O'Connor. He never needed to gravitate towards where Ashley Cooper was. Instead, he just stayed out wide. He was clear, but it was a really risky, long pass for Ashley Cooper to try and find him. Here, when he goes, see, out wide. Well, this is actually the finish of it, when Ashley Cooper couldn't find O'Connor. They really butchered it in the finish. Genia's hesitation really cost them.
Yeah, and the other thing too was, Justin, Genia lacked a runner, didn't he? He lacked a guy, an option on the left there. He so desperately had that when the All Blacks were trying to recover. So just caught the Wallabies by surprise as much, I think, as it did the All Blacks. Retallick on there in 19, you can see in the background there. Little cut to that famous head of Stephen Moores, who's been aggressive again tonight. You know, I think about Richie McCaw's work rate. So far, it's as busy as you would always expect it to be. But I don't think the Wallabies will mind that much. They won't mind him carrying the ball in close quarters where they can cover him. That'll sap the energy tanks.
Certainly will. Well, it's a shame for Luke Romano. Retallick is on. He's replaced him. Great start from Luatua, though, as well. We've mentioned him early in ball carrying, but he made an excellent tackle over this far side on Israel Folau when he looked like he was going to get away. So great start for Luatua in his Test debut.
Brodie Retallick on in his 15th Test match as Hoare throws, and stretching across and taking it was Reid. Now Folau, so good in the air. after playing AFL football, you'd understand why. As Genia shifts it away for Tamua. Lilefano. Now, O'Connor threw a loose pass, and it was only the experience of Adam Ashley Cooper to drag it in. And penalty could go the way of the All Blacks here. Yes, it will.
No, there.
They had the numbers there.
First infringement.
Both teams were complaining. And we'll try and find out, Smithy, about Luke Romano.
Yeah, we're just getting a word on it now, Nisba. Hopefully it won't be too long.
Well, I tell you, they look very dangerous out wide, do the Wallabies, but you have to almost be an absolute creative genius to get around Conrad Smith. It looked like that time they just got on the outside of him, that O'Connor just got on the outside of Smith and he wouldn't have the gas. He just used his snaky hips to slide across and cut O'Connor down, and it looked like he had all the time in the world. Such a great defender, the world's best for mine, Conrad Smith.
Word on Luke Romano from Darren Shanders, groin problem for him. So he's had a few issues, hasn't he, Luke Romano, this season? So let's hope it's not a bad one, but bad enough for now.
First kick from Aaron Cruden was a beauty. And the second one is coming round nicely. Another 3. 10 points to 6. Almost at the halfway point of this first half as the kickoff is made and tipped back and lost by McCaw. Hacked ahead by Hooper. Nicely snapped up by Cruden. Gave it away to Luatua.
Roll away, 2 goals.
And the big man takes it up to the 22. Kick made by Dag. And easily claimed by Mogg. Now the Wallabies from the back through James O'Connor. But held him up off the ground here. He's desperately trying to get to ground. Now he does. And the ball is there. A few hands. Now the charge from the skipper, James Horwell. Now Tamua works it away. Liliofano and Rob Simmons. Says it's okay, Jabir. It was the tackler who was having a crack at it. As Stephen Moore takes it up, sets it for Genia. Away it goes again for Horwell. Now snapped up by McMenamin. And plenty of penalties coming here at the rucks. This one is pretty much out in front again.
Sorry, Nisba. They're competing hard, though, aren't they? The All Blacks are really aggressively attacking those rucks. Players on their feet trying to burst their way through the back of the ruck. This is Horwell going to ground. Genia goes over and bridges the ball, to be fair. Simmons is tackled there, and I'm not entirely sure who he's got there.
I think he said 5, didn't he?
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah. Sam Whitelock.
They certainly are attacking it with some gusto, the All Blacks. They need to be careful about where they do attack it and make sure that they're legal, because again, this is well within Tamua's strike range. Very accurate from here.
All Blacks have conceded 6 penalties already. No problems again. Lilofano kicks his 3rd penalty goal. 10 points to 9. very short, too short in actual fact, but it's been claimed by a Wallaby player. So it's play on as Horwell took the initiative, gave it away to O'Connor. And once again, the Wallabies on the front foot. As the charge is made by Ben Moen. As Genia away for Tamur. Leilofano, nicely read by Conrad Smith. He targeted the right man. It was Adam Ashley Cooper. Now the pass away for Simmons. Now it's McMenamin in the number 6 jersey. Back after 5 years away from the Wallaby team. Horwell, he cleverly held that ball. And this is there for Genia. He gets set upon. McMenamin goes again. Just in All Black territory. Genia for Moore. Straightens the attack nicely. Genia. Off it goes to James Slipper. Loose head prop. And the ball's been lost here by the looks of things.
First infringement, lost forward.
Lost in contact. Good solid defence around the fringes. And Rob Simmons feeling the knee there. So he gets rather gingerly. Well, he hasn't actually got up yet. Now he does.
What's of interest to me, Smithy, and you're down there nice and low. I don't know whether you're picking up the calls or whether there's any communication, but there's absolutely no kicking game whatsoever from the Wallabies. They look intent on keeping the ball in hand. Mog's not stepping up, calling for the ball, or Tamua looking for opportunities to kick him behind. They're completely wanting to keep it in hand.
I think they're just trying to run the All Blacks ragged. And it's not now that it'll count. It's in the 60th minute, it's in the 70th minute. The impact from the bench will be a key. Remember Steve Hansen saying how impressed he was the Chiefs bench was one of the big factors in their season. He'll be hoping for the same, and they're going to need it at this pace.
Good strong All Black scrum. Reed. Oh, no free kick.
Not in straights.
One each.
We left that a long time.
It's a square up though for the odd, not down the middle.
So the Wallabies will probably call a scrum of their own here. There aren't really too many options. Unless you just hacked it up in the air and hope for the best.
Halfbacks, come here, please. Yeah.
Down beside you.
Okay, guys, you understand from now on, upgrade to penalties for not straights. Down the middle, please.
Yeah,
Well, it was ignored for 20 years, Justin.
yeah, and I
Yes.
agree that they're trying to make it more of a contest, but when
Shoulders up, please.
when it's time to put the ball in, the scrum is always moving around so much. There's so much going on. To get it exactly right is virtually impossible. The worst thing you don't want to do is put it down the opposition's side. So you're going to be slightly advantageous to your own side. I think, yes, look at it, but you can't be overexcited about it. There's just so much movement, and you know, it's just so much ground there that they've got to be careful they don't get too over the top on it.
Set. Yes, none.
Perfect, says Craig Joubert. So that's the definition of perfect. And here's Ashley Cooper battling his way through a few more tackles. Now the pass goes up, and James Horwell looking good with the ball in hand, the Wallabies. And Moore away for Genia. Mogg is up in the line. A little bit of space here in the kick through, but Folau wasn't able to run onto it. And the clearing kick has been claimed and it's been charged. So here's another opportunity as Moore sets it up again right in centre field. Oh, loose ball there. And Aaron Smith got through. Well, it's another penalty against the All Blacks.
This one a little bit of rough and tumble afterwards. It won't come to anything. But what happened there was Aaron Smith is not the player they want to be clearing from that distance, Justin. His kick was, well, it was just badly timed. I think it hit the head of Matt Tamua, bounced into a Wallaby hand.
Oh, a Falcon in Australia, heaven forbid. Yeah, it wasn't great, was it? It was a bit scrappy. And then from there, what created the problem was Smith. Here we go. Oh, that's nasty. Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. It's not pleasant to see, but it is a genuine Falcon, and the crowd have just seen it, and they love it. So does Quade Cooper. Good to see he's enjoying himself.
You can laugh, Justin. Go on.
Oh, Thanks, Nisbo.
Well, I tell you what,
Watch McCaw here.
It's a 3-point Falcon at the moment.
Yeah, McCaw straight in the side there. Yeah, it is. It is a 3-point. The hard thing for McCaw was he saw Smith on the ground, who looked like he had the ball, so he thought, well, I can go in there and try and secure that, but his entry wasn't correct. Unbelievable to think that the All Blacks could find themselves behind, given that they seem to have dominated this game.
Yes, this kick successful could give the Wallabies the lead. And it does exactly that. A fourth penalty goal by Lilifano. 12-10 with about 12 and a half remaining in the first half.
Just wonder if the All Blacks now decide whether to go deep. Reed's right across. You can see Reed there. He's second in, so there is a man outside, and they've gone for the short one. Maybe they want to get a bit of terrence to the All Blacks.
Yes, indeed they have. Still time for Ben Smith to get up there quickly. But it was nicely taken down by Simmons. And Genia clears it away. And here is McMenamin. Strong ball carrier. There again for Genia. There's an All Black down.
Oh!
Now there's a charge. Here's a go. And Aaron Cruden scores the try off a charge down, and the All Blacks are back in front.
It came from pressure again at the breakdown. The Wallabies weren't solid in that area. Aaron Smith almost got his way through. Someone blocked him, but because of that, Genia saw him coming, took a step or two too many. Cruden zeroed in, got his eye line on Tamua. The youngster under pressure. Look here, there's Smith, gets grabbed. Genia takes a couple of steps. Because of that, Cruden could go up. There was nobody there. The minute he charged it down, there was always going to be a try. He stayed composed, Smithy. That was the key element.
Well, the last two scoring opportunities have come from kicking errors. And, of course, Justin, you were the one talking about the fact the Wallabies have not kicked at all. First time they go to it for a long time. Admittedly, he didn't have a lot of runners outside him. They make a meal of it. Cruden cashes in with a score of 7 to add to the All Black cause. So that Wallaby lead is very, very short-lived as well.
Indeed it is. Now, Smithy, I think there's some concern. Is that Stephen Luatua? He was the man that went down. And he's taking forever to get up.
So we've got Sam Kane on the sideline over here. Just Luatua's back on the 22.
Well, they'll play on without him, won't they? Because he's not affecting the play, so he needs to get back, and he's trying to get his way back now.
So we'll give him a chance here.
That's nice. Rachel Berry said he is coming back. We'll give him a chance.
So 17 points to 12. The All Blacks have scored the try so far. Well, that's beautifully taken. Is that Ben Smith?
McCaw, I think.
Was it McCaw? Yeah. Here it goes, Nonu. And he's just hacked it off downfield. Players coming from all directions. In the end, it was Genia who got a hold of it. Now Mogg places it there, and Genia sends it off. And losing his footing there was Tamua. And it's been hacked on the All Black side. And Nonu kicks again. Wide open spaces here. And O'Connor gets back quickly, and Mogg on his favoured left boot. And it's still in. Luatua. And the All Blacks' high-powered game as off it goes to Conrad Smith. Aaron Smith works the blind side. Snapped up by Conrad Smith. Now McCaw. Strong defence on him. Retallick had a couple of goes at that. And almost stolen, not quite. Now here's Dagg, blindside. Getting through. Israel Dagg. They're only 5 or 6 metres away here. As the All Blacks take it through the centre. Now Hoare, quick pass to Retallick. Looking for quick ball, Aaron Smith. Here he is coming through the middle. He's okay at the moment. He can't put his hands on it. That was Hooper. Now Cruden off to Nonu. Severe there with a clean out. Now Aaron Smith. Dagg works it off to Conrad Smith. McCaw! Richie McCaw! Welcome back.
What a magnificent try from the All Blacks. Patience, then power, and then skill to manipulate the overlap on the outside. Their perseverance, absolutely memorable. McCaw is the man that scored, but this is a team try. Every player contributed. Aaron Smith was superb, jinking and jiving, passing, offloading. Cruden and Nonu, cuts in the midfield, really testing the Wallabies defence. This is the finish of it. The steps, Cruden. Smith takes again. The pass from Dag. Smith, nice hands. McCaw finds his way into the corner, but that is a team try, and what a try it is, Smithy.
Great continuity too from the All Blacks here, and space out wide, 2 options there. Ben Smith would have gladly taken it, and that had number 2, wouldn't he? But McCaw, special moment after 7 months without serious rugby. Any time in the game, comes back and puts himself on the score sheet. He'll feel happy about that because he's given away a few penalties that Leali'ifano's cashed in on. Can Cruden cash in on this? And by the way, another hashed kick from Jesse Mogg at the back. The Australian kicking game is awful.
So Cruden again, and
Could it have hit anything else?
No, it couldn't have. Hit the upright and the crossbar and missed.
I tell you, this guy in picture now has been simply outstanding in the first 33 minutes of this game. See there, off the crossbar as well as off the upright, but he has been superb.
I reckon Aaron Smith's been outstanding too, and you picked it. He's running across the face of the Wallaby defence. They don't know. There's so many runners, they don't know what's going on.
Now the kickoff is made. McCaw gets it on the second attempt.
Inside.
Took it back inside. And the clearing kick is made. And maybe they didn't take it back inside.
I think they heard Smith and Cruden, man of 2 teammates. They heard the call inside from Joubert, so they were confident that he had seen it and they could kick it out. And why not?
Six minutes remaining as Simmons makes the catch. The All Blacks have scored the tries, 3 of them. Tamua took his eye off the ball and knocked it on. Referee's got the arm out here, waiting for some advantage for the All Blacks. It's not going to happen though.
No advantage lost for.
Let's just talk about Richie McCaw for a moment. That try he scored is 9th. Now joins Brian Habana as the record try scorers against the Wallabies, and he jumps ahead of other All Blacks: Ian Kirkpatrick, Christian Cullen, Doug Howlett, Martin Nonu, who are all stuck on 8 tries against the Wallabies. So he's set a little record there tonight, Richie McCaw. Not for the first time.
Not for the first time, and certainly probably not for the last. Just keeps delivering such high quality performances. Legend already.
Bind. Sets. Yes, 9. Fine.
Rolls it in. Reid is going to have to clear this, and in fact, no.
Do it again.
Try it again. So have you got a verdict on the scrums yet, Justin?
Anything, JP?
Had a good talk to Chrono just pre-game, didn't we, Smithy, about the scrums, and he said it'll take a little bit of time for the players to adapt, but in the long term he thinks it's going to be better and less resets. So I think it's a good thing. It makes a genuine contest and it stops the hit and collapse. Now the only problems are when they actually bind, and then it loses its structure from there.
Sets. Yes, 9.
Now Reid slings it away. Another charge kick. But the All Blacks have regained this. And here is a run by Ben Smith. Takes all sorts of putting down. Quickly snapped up. And now the All Blacks looking to move this away. It's Sam Whitelock. They work blindside lure to it. Quick hands. Conrad Smith to Ben Smith. McCaw standing over it, but now it's Aaron Smith. Away for Cruden. Retallick. Nonu. The first tackle wasn't made. Stabs it ahead for Savia. And Mogg, who does not look at all comfortable on his right boot. Just gets rid of it.
Interesting, Justin, we were talking, weren't we, about that rush defence. Well, Liliafano was so good for the Brumbies throughout the season, but if you're going to go at Nonu, you've got to get him. He missed him there.
If you're going to go at anybody, you've got to get them, because you've compromised your defensive line. You can no longer push across when that player decides to take the defence into his own hands. If you do that, you've got to go up. We saw Conrad Smith do it earlier, but he made the tackle.
4 throws. Oh, just about overthrew it. In fact, he did. Beautifully snapped up by Hooper. And he got it away to Genia. Now the little fellow's on his own. And he's got away from Cruden. Now can he link up? He doesn't have to. Magnificent from Will Genia.
And what an appropriate call, Nisbo. Magnificent is the word. The Wallabies needed something. They were starting to fall behind. The All Blacks were looking good. Their skill level was high. However, Will Genia, the best in the world in his position, but it's sparked by Hooper, who's been simply outstanding. He's been the best of everything. Look at the one-handed offload here, around the corner. Here's Genia. He's got Cruden chasing him. He's outgassed Cruden. From there, you thought maybe Smith is going to get him. He can't quite get there. Israel Dagg, not enough pace. Genia down, the Wallabies are back.
Well, he was almost teasing them. Look, he cut back into the All Black traffic. That's where they were coming. He cut back in towards Dagg. He cut back inside Aaron Smith. It was almost like he was saying, catch me if you can. They could not. He has got serious wheels there. He's very, very quick. Seizes an opportunity. Mistake at the back of an All Black line-out. Not very often you see Sam Whitelock not get it right, but that's where it came from.
I think he was trying to find a support player. There was no wingers there, so it was Tamua or Liliafano that was coming up on the inside. I think he felt there was a lot of black jerseys around him, which there was, and he was on his own. But you could see there was a yellow jersey coming up behind. If he could somehow angle back in, find that support player, because he thought he was going to get caught, I'm sure of it.
Conversion is over. 22 points to 19. And boy, this has been some first half.
Fantastic. Skill level is extremely high.
Michael Hooper only made his debut last year for the Wallabies. Will Genia, remember the final try he scored in the final a couple of years ago against the Crusaders. Very similar. As the kickoff goes down to the try scorer, and he just boots it for all he's worth. The All Blacks think about the quick throw.
The Wallabies are yelling that it was touched. They're not going to get that, though. Worth a try.
Jaco Piper shaking his head. Now Andrew Hoare throws again. Suddenly the All Black line-out not looking quite so good. Here's Luatua, and breaks through the first tackle and lays it back. Aaron Smith, one for the chasers to head for. And it's loose, and it's quickly, and it falls for McCaw off the pass. There goes the siren. So half-time is with us as Cruden, searching run, gives it off to Conrad Smith, looking to link up. Nobody home, so he takes the tackle as Aaron Smith gets it away. Here's Nonu from broken play. He's got the arm out. Has Joubert. Andrew Hoare. Ball is there. They're right in centre field. And the penalty against the Wallabies. They're offside.
Offside, back line.
And it looked very much as though when Conrad Smith was heading towards the line, it was going to be a 7-pointer. So they may well be happy to concede 3.
Absolutely, they will be. You would have heard in that sequence the half-time hooter go off, so they'll take the points. Just couldn't quite find another player, Conrad Smith, but he does the right thing by going to ground, lays the ball back, and it's out wide there. You could see Joubert had his back turned, but he got the call from Jaco Piper, and that's when the arm went out, and the All Blacks are going to look like they're going to get 3 back after the Wallabies struck with that try.
Yeah, I think it's Matt Tamua, the player second last on the line that you saw there. So, yep, patience after the hooter is going to bring reward for the All Blacks.
And the penalty goal is landed by Cruden. And half-time, 25 points to 19. And we're going to have a chat very shortly. Mel Robinson is down there. And let's see if we can have a chat with Kieran Reid. Craig Joubert blows the whistle. Second half underway here in Sydney. And the ball allowed to bounce and finally dragged in by McCaw. So good clean ball for Aaron Smith. And this one coming down right about the halfway line. And it's loose and it's claimed by Ben Alexander. Andrew Hoare stayed in there.
Lost forward.
And the ball was lost forward.
Well, it's interesting, fellas. There's no changes, as you've probably picked up, either side that left the park, but the All Blacks did come out very early, and so did their reserves. About 2 or 3 minutes to go from the end of the break, and they're still working away down. It leads me to believe there might be some early changes from that camp.
Well, of course, they had to make that early change with the injury to Luke Romano. So Brodie Retallick has been on for quite some time.
Crouch.
2 props, as is the way these days, on the reserve bench.
Yes, no.
So Genia gets it in. He's missed it altogether. Snapped up by Aaron Smith. Gets up and goes again. He wasn't held. And
Release the ball at your tackle.
well, he was held apparently.
Touch judge call.
Holding on.
Yako.
I think he actually, to get back on his feet, has to release the ball. Release the ball and stand up, and then he can play it, which he didn't do. He held on to it and then stood back up. But good harassment from Smith. He's, as mentioned, been energetic. He's been very competitive with Will Genia tonight. But look at that, shoots out the side. Away he goes. Genia makes a good tackle, but he has to release that before he can get back up after being tackled already.
A really strange decision to give the kick to Jesse Mogg on the left boot. Had no angle to work with. Wallabies win it. Taken up strongly by Lilifano. Now here's Moen going through the middle.
Into your own man, scrum.
And it was accidental. All Blacks complaining. So it's a scrum right in centre field.
I thought he was close to getting
Now there is an All Black down, Smithy.
Yep, who we're looking at him halfway this time round. It's Kieran Reid. So they had real trouble in that loose forward area, haven't they? Again tonight as well. You just see he picks up here, and Ashley Cooper's ahead of the ball from Australia's point of view, and he joins at the front, and that was the issue there from Craig Joubert's point of view. So Reid is up, just a bang on the back of the head by the look of things.
Come on.
Not good enough, though, from the Wallabies, is it, Smithy? They're really struggling at times to exit their own half with efficiency. And because of that, the All Blacks are able to apply pressure, and ultimately, most of the time they've been in the Australian half, they've got points from it. There were 2 needless errors, you know, the scrum, ball shooting out the back, and then that one into your own man, you know, those sorts of things. And big games, they can be very, very hard to make your way back from.
Centre field scrum here for the All Blacks. Look at the positioning of Israel Dagg straight behind Aaron Cruden. And they've got Manonu out left with Julian Sevilla on that split on the far side.
And as we look at it here on Joubert's side, only 2 defenders for Australia on that side. So an opportunity to come towards us for the All Blacks.
Yes, no. Number 3 on your knees.
Well,
Collapsing
scrum screwing there, and he's actually gone against Owen Franks.
Got to stay up.
Mogg get this, do you think?
He'll get touch. He want to be better than he was last time. But here's a situation for possibly an attacking line-out for Australia. Their line-out's gone pretty well.
Gee, he hasn't got that very good either.
Well, you'd think they'd give it to a right-foot kicker. Why give it to a left-foot kicker kicking in that direction?
Who's lacking a bit of kicking confidence.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, you can see there, straight down to the knee. Good call from Joubert.
So the line-out throw from Moore is tipped into the arms of Genia. To Moore now. And they're looking to work it away to Folau's side, but it was taken back by Mogg. Now here's a long run from Horwell. Bit of space out there on the blind side as Genia again away for Tamua. Head down goes Ben Alexander. Now Tamua works it away. Here's O'Connor. Quick hands from to Ashley Cooper. Working blindside here, but Genia, that's not the right way to go. He got crunched as Moore away for Tamua. Back on the inside for Simmons. Ball is there again, and Moore works it away. Once again working it across towards Folau's wing, but he's not getting the ball. Leali'ifano away from Moen. There is Hooper, who has been outstanding in this game tonight. And Genia again slips the pass. Ben Alexander sets it up. Good momentum here from the Wallabies. Horwell. And Sam Whitelock's got his hands on the ball, and he's going to be done.
Not maintaining your body weight.
Gilbert said get away from there. Initially he had a crack at it, but he stayed there, and this is right out in front. This is a gift.
Yeah, it is a gift. And they'll be annoyed about it as well, the All Blacks, because they spoke about giving these penalties away. I don't think he was initially on his feet anyway. There's Kieran Reid there. He's certainly not supporting his body weight, and he let that go, Craig Gilbert. You see there, he said it's fine. He certainly wasn't. And then from there, those players are all over it and using other players' body weights to support theirs. So he got them eventually.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Kieran Reid could have been pinged there.
Yeah, absolutely.
You saw the black tape around his wrist. It was clearly on the ball, and his back was on the ground. And you know, he had 2 cracks at it there. So I'm not sure there'd be too many complaints when they see that one again. It's just more gifted points that Ian Foster was talking about.
Well, the penalty count is 9-4 against the All Blacks. And a lot of these have been in kickable positions, and that's another one. 5 penalty goals now by Leali'ifano. 25-22.
In saying that, we made some comments about the breakdown, but the attack was good. They were going forward, plenty of link passes, Hooper and co, and they actually looked good with the ball in the hand that time, the Wallabies. So they deserved the penalty.
Cruden. Quick transfer away for Genia. Gee, that was done very smartly. O'Connor trying to stay away from the touchline. Just managed to do so.
I reckon his hand was out, but however, All Blacks did too.
Did they? There's Moen. Now here's Genia. Back for Mogg. And he's got better distance in the kick this time. Reid's got it. Reid's going to throw. No.
They are putting great amount of pressure on the kickers from Australia. The All Blacks really haven't got any time to take time over their kicking game.
Luatua has come right forward here. But down the back, it's well and truly overthrown it, but Reid got a hold of it. And Hooper got his hands on it. Now Ashley Cooper. Here's Mogg. Fired it away, no one in particular. That was a really poor pass. Aaron Smith and James O'Connor, all the time in the world, bumps it for touch, and maybe it should be he kicking off the right foot with a touch.
Oh boy, Justin, some funny stuff going on. Kieran Reid first of all with his pass, and what was Jesse Mogg thinking here?
He wasn't thinking. I don't know who he was looking to throw that to, but just need to show some patience, and I think Smith should have kept that in hand as well. Messy play all round from both teams.
Kevin Mealamu on for Andrew Hoare.
Oh, his first throw is no good either. So a few issues at line-out time. Now it's taking a while to come here for Genia. He's told to use it.
He's going to kick.
That's been touched. But Reid is at least Smith. Aaron Smith's got it. Now here's Ben Smith. Oh, his pass is a bit loose. It was tipped by McCaw, but it went back. Now Cruden. On it goes for Savia, gets a bit of space. Now Julian Savia. Mogg partially stops him. Now here's Aaron Smith. Away for Cruden. Loose pass. And Ben Smith has to tidy up. And the All Blacks will have to start this all over again as McCaw digs it out. Gives it off to Nonu. McCaw, now he's lost it. Not sure what he was trying to do there, Richie McCaw. As Will Genia has it. It's outside the 22 by the looks of things, so Tamua slams it off downfield. Here's Israel Dagg. Hasn't really been much in the game tonight. Cruden. Mogg coming forward, and ball bounces and is claimed by Liliafano.
Is he in front?
May well have been. As Moore puts his head down. This game really is being played at high speed. Now Tamua. Dagg is again going to field this. Off it goes to Ben Smith. Surveys the options. There aren't many. And this kick is going just on the Wallaby side of halfway, and Savia does really well. Now the black jerseys arrive. Luatua clears it out for Nonu. Nonu confronted by Hooper, who will try and turn it over. Can't do it this time, though. Here's Luatua charging hard. Now Aaron Smith sniping away. Gets a pass off to Conrad Smith. And the veteran centres in.
Well, we saw a vintage try earlier from the All Blacks. This was a bit more scrappy. There was plenty of passes to ground, aimless kicking from both teams in the whole sequence. But when the matter was most at its important, the key player was Aaron Smith, who made the decisive break. Luatua, big strong charge, but watch Smith here from the high angle, shows the dummy through the gap, just slightly grabbed, but he offloads to Smith, who puts a step on the outside, back in, and over he goes.
Well, question marks too about Jesse Mogg's defence, because the runner was covered. Kieran Reid was covered by Folau, and that was a weak effort from the number 15 for the Wallabies. They'll be disappointed with that. But perfect reply, and Julian Savia's come into this game all of a sudden, fellas, with two telling pieces of action.
Yes, he certainly has. Conversion has been kicked by Cruden, and it's 32-22.
Well, it was great from Savia, because the kick went up from Ben Smith. Wasn't a great kick. It didn't go far, but no Wallaby player wanted it. But Julian Savia chased it hard. He went up aggressively, caught the ball on the front foot, and that's what started that, let's say, counter-attack, and they ended up scoring from it.
Two changes for the Wallabies. They've got Liam Gill on in 20 for McMenamin, and in 23, Kurandrani on. And that is for Jesse Mogg.
Okay, so maybe James O'Connor back to fullback.
That's the way it's shaping up, yes.
Nicely claimed here by Brodie Retallick. And the All Blacks do really well from the kickoff. Aaron Smith, whose kicking's been good. And nicely taken down.
Yes, ball is out.
As Genia slings it away for Tamua. Moen. Now Kurandrani, welcome to the show, as he gets nailed by Reid.
So is it forward?
And the All Blacks
Is it forward?
desperately trying to grab this, but no.
Lost forward from a black hand.
And it's been knocked on by the All Blacks.
I need knock on black, Lonnie. I need knock on black.
Well, they really are struggling to get out of their own half,
The callers off
the
the
Wallabies. They didn't do anything but shovel the ball across. There's Jesse Mogg on the bench. Guess he probably wasn't expecting to be replaced this early, but they just shoveled that ball across, created pressure on Kurandrani, who's just got on the field.
Let's come away from that, eh?
They nearly blew it. They nearly blew it.
Fellas, I just thought when Conrad Smith got up and was getting back to halfway, he might have been a little sore. And I've just seen Ryan Crotty doing some serious workout work on the sideline here. So it could be a big moment in sport very shortly for a really genuine, hard-working Cantabrian.
Yes, he doesn't look too far away.
Crouch.
In fact, there's a fair bit of movement on that All Black bench.
Set. Yes, none.
14 minutes gone, second half.
Wait's coming.
And
Ball is
it's a
out.
bit of a struggle at the back.
All the way black.
All Black scrum. And now Guinea somehow rips it away. And it's cleared away, but under real pressure by O'Connor. And the All Blacks have kept the pressure on.
Front visuals and going back.
So they picked up 4 tries tonight. There's a bonus point in the Rugby Championship. So Kevin Mialamu. Lineouts of late haven't been that good, but this is better. Wallabies conceded anyway, but it wasn't straight. Oh dear. Spoke too soon.
What's the feed?
Well, same position for the Wallabies. This is where they were before, and they could not get out of here. The scrum was under pressure.
Keep putting down the middle.
Aaron Smith's doing a great job at the back.
But don't go too far from that.
And then from there, they just threw it back to O'Connor, and it was hit and
Too
hope.
far. We're going to get ear to ear.
So have they learned?
There we
Can
go.
they get better? Otherwise, they're going to get
Right,
get
right
stuck
up and
here.
left.
We're still in this game. There's still plenty of time. There's only 10 points in it.
Just saw there Tavita Kurandrani on debut.
Crouch.
2 open side flankers now for the Wallabies. Michael Hooper on this near side, Liam Gill on the
Yes,
other.
9.
Oh, they can't strike for a moment. The pressure was too great. Luatua. All Blacks starting to dominate in scrums. As Aaron Smith away from Mialamu. Quick hands to Owen Franks. Never scored a try in a test match. Now Cruden away for Conrad Smith. Quick hands. Ben Smith for the corner. He gets a double. And the All Blacks have 5.
Well, the backs are jumping all over themselves and hugging, but they should be on their way to the forward pack because that's what created it. You mentioned it, Nisbo. It was the Wallabies feed. There was so much pressure in that front row that Stephen Moore could not hook the ball. We had a great angle on it. It rolled straight through the other side. Luatua swooped on it. And then from there, a couple of punches up the middle from the big hefty forwards. Look at this ball. Bounces back on the All Black side. Luatua goes forward. A couple of offloads from Franks. He went very close. And then the hands from here. The passes are out in front. Out in front. Little flick pass. Quick hands from Dag. That's how you play rugby. That's how you score tries.
Brilliant stuff, wasn't it? The passing was absolutely outstanding. I suppose that's what happens when you go for speed and off your scrum. You may neglect the fact that your scrum's losing some power with one of your big boys being replaced. And that's what happened there, and Ben Smith is becoming very, very good at finishing any sort of a chance. Tough kick for Cruden, but he's going well tonight.
All Blacks now lead by 15. And for the second time, hits the upright. 37-22 and 18 minutes gone, second half.
Yep, time on.
And more changes.
Yeah, change in the front row for the Wallabies in jersey number 18, Sekope Kepu. And that's for Ben Alexander.
Now the kickoff. Reid waits and Reid takes it.
Use it.
There it is again for Aaron Smith. Waiting is O'Connor. And Ben Smith missing the tackle, and Ashley Cooper makes a good run. Here's James Horwell as Genia feeds it up for Tamua. O'Connor works it away to Simmons as they get down towards the 22 here, the Wallabies. Tamua again, Leda Fano.
Two black.
All Blacks solid defence in midfield. Tamua, a miss out pass. Kurandrani. Conrad Smith inevitably makes the tackle. Now James Slipper. There's Tamua probing. Oh, he's a little isolated there for the moment, but he got away with it. And here's O'Connor staying up on the line a lot more. As Hooper, well, he went near the sideline.
In touch and play on.
And it's play on as Ben Smith gave it away quickly, and the kick is made downfield and into touch.
Well, that's a good sign from an All Black point of view. It's the Wallabies trying to play the game at pace, but there we saw a quick throw in. Israel Dagg with that educated right boot. And the Wallabies are getting some of their own now as we headed towards the last 20.
Tell you what, gentlemen, if I was coaching this Wallabies team, I think I would have put Folau at fullback, left O'Connor on the wing. He's just not in the game enough, Folau, and he's a game breaker. He'd get more involvements at fullback.
Yep, well, they go round again in Wellington next Saturday, of course, so it's likely to be changes. Liliofano away to Kurandrani, and the big man makes a good surge as Genia hands it up to Ben Mowen, and the Brumbies captain takes a couple of metres.
3 black.
It's a slow ball, very slow ball for Genia. And now they go. Here is O'Connor once more. Spending a lot of time down the blind side. Just keeping the All Blacks honest on that side as Stephen Moore wasn't held, got up and went again. There it is again for Genia. Tamua, change of tactics this time. Here comes Folau, and it's been claimed. Good mark by Savia. Just dropped a little bit short.
Find the AR. Your mark is there.
Desperate to try and get him in the game.
Yeah, like I say, when Mogg went off, they had their perfect chance. Give him to fullback.
Savia tips it. He gives it back to Dagg, who's that good right boot of his. Now, hello, this is interesting.
Quade Cooper coming on, 22 for the Wallabies, but also of interest too. Out come 2 All Black props, so Charlie Faumuina and Ben Franks in 17 and 18, and it is for Tamua, so he goes into the 10 spot. Quade Cooper, Woodcock and Owen Franks join him on the side.
Yeah, guys, we've got profuse bleeding here.
So an hour, or just over an hour for the 2 starting All Black props. And it looks like Michael Hooper's in a bit of strife here, so he'll need to tidy that up.
Well, it's not surprising the way he's played the game today. He's been absolutely into everything. He's been the best player out there for the Wallabies by a long shot for mine.
Looks like stitches required.
Yeah, it does. Woodcock and Franks, well, superb. That scrum pressure late in the game, late in the second half, they've still got enough energy there to create a try from their good work in the scrum.
Scott Fardy in 19, that'll be the blood replacement for Michael Hooper. So impressive, Fardy for the Brumbies.
So play to resume. 37 to 22. And Moore. And that one's just a little bit short. Might have been lost forward there by Orwell, but not ruled that way as Genia. And just hanging on and Moore is Orwell. Genia again works the blind side. And good charge there by Scott Fardy in the 19. Now Simmons. All Blacks have really shored up that defence on the blind side. Here's Cooper getting an early touch. He's getting a bit of booing as O'Connor in a bit of space. Now he gets the pass off to Ashley Cooper, and they're inside the 22 as Genia works it away for Liliofano and Liam Gill as Genia. Now Cooper. Ball pops up nicely. Oh, intercept. Now Cruden. He's got a long way to go, and they look to have him covered.
Severe
gives it off to Severe, who's leading the race. Oh no! It hit the flag.
You short hits here and goes in touch. Yeah, okay, great. Thank you. Line out, gold.
Almost genius from Cruden, wasn't it? Almost genius, but it was instinct as well. Absolute instinct. I don't think he looked to see where Severe was. He just knew.
Severe, he always looked like he had the pace. If the ball had stayed in, I think he scores for all money. Unfortunately, one roll of the ball Here's the pass from Cooper.
Time on.
They go for the pop-up here from Simmons. Cruden's got the pace. Now watch the view in the background. You can just see he's making some ground. And unfortunately it cuts off, but he had the pace.
Fellas, Crotty's on, Ryan Crotty's on. Magic moment.
Good stuff, okay.
Phenomenal.
Outside, yeah, 16.
So the Wallabies have the ball, but they're backed onto their own goal line here. And Cooper, I don't know what section of the audience is booing, but aren't that many Kiwis here, are there?
No comment. Yeah, he would have won the race, I think, Severe. Beaten by the bounce of the ball. See, that's a great shot down below, right in that corner post, that he was just slightly ahead of Folau. Short line out for the All Blacks, Luatua out the back.
Nialamu finding Sam Whitelock on this occasion. Roddy hands it on to McCaw. Still running hard, Richie McCaw.
Push back. 5.
As Aaron Smith brings it out. No, he doesn't.
Run away.
It's a little dummy. Now here's Kevin Nialamu. Got it away nicely to Retallick. Just near the 22. And Ben Franks.
No, 20. Outside here. Use it.
Aaron Smith driving right through the middle.
Right through the side.
Right through the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rob Simmons, the culprit there. He's had a strong game, actually, for the Wallabies tonight. He's been one of their better engine room men.
Stephen, I wish he had.
Blatantly on the side. And I tell you, Richie McCaw's now at, what, the 65-minute mark. It's getting closer and closer. When we go home tonight, we'll look on the left and he'll be changing in a phone box. Superhuman effort, this. Just when you think he might be drifting out of it, he's in there 2 or 3 times in that phase of play.
Yeah, he's fit enough, though. You used to avoid him at training runs when you had to do a fitness session because he just kept going and going and going. He's got an engine like an ever-ready battery. You know, he just doesn't give up. It was the physical nature, whether he can combine that with his fitness work that he'd been doing in the sabbatical, whether that would tell on him, but it certainly doesn't look like it has.
So Cruden here looking to bring up 40 points. And that is achieved for only the 4th time by the All Blacks against the Wallabies. 40-22. And they're looking very relaxed on the bench.
Manny Atoto, club rugby players, Woodcock and Hoare. A lot of speculation about whether or not they had the grunt in the engine. Well, there's no doubt that they have. Superb performance from both of them.
Cooper is back as Cooper's kick. Nobody wants to touch it. They have to in the end. So good old Quade Cooper. First set piece. And he makes a hash of it.
All right, guys, there are a few new props. You comfortable with what we're doing, eh? Happy?
Those All Blacks I saw with the smiles on their faces of satisfaction. Probably because they're far from perfect tonight. They're still leading by 18 points.
But when they've been on, they've been good, Smithy, haven't they?
They've been outstanding when it's worked for them. It's been shades of the good stuff, the really good stuff.
Bind. Set. Yes, no. Skew, not straight.
Not straight, so he did warn the halfbacks.
Did you see how much that scrum was moving, though?
Yeah.
It was moving towards Aaron Smith, like it was crabbing that way. In the finish, he just threw it in. And
spoken like a true halfback.
Oh.
Now Cooper.
How do you reckon you'd go today, Marshall, under this? He'd be done every time.
It's a serious.
I wouldn't be able to play because they'd have to zip. They'd have to staple my mouth shut, and I wouldn't be able to breathe. So, you're wasting my time. Come on, give the halfbacks a break. Everyone's always picking on them.
Little blokes.
Yep.
Raw throws. Now Genia has it. Quickly handed on by Liliofano to Kurandrani. Now it's Gill as the Wallabies march inside the 22. Haven't been here very often as Simmons sets it up. Now Genia. Here's Cooper looking for the inside runner, and O'Connor very nearly got through. Slipped the pass to Leali'ifano. McCaw is right over the ball, and McCaw has won the penalty.
7 arriving player.
I think he's perfectly fine there. There's a few boos echoing around the stadium, as you'd imagine, A, because they might not think the penalty was justified, but B, simply because it's Richie McCaw. But he was very quick in getting there, Richie McCaw, and so his entry would have been fine because the Wallaby player was on the ground and he was on his feet, Richie McCaw. It looked like maybe from the side, but it's only because he stepped over the player.
Cruden's kick is good.
Here's the break, inside ball. O'Connor nearly slips through. Great tackle from Leali'ifano. Look at McCaw, he's fine. You see his foot is over, it makes it look like it's a side, but he was behind initially. He only used that foot to keep himself upright, so he didn't get knocked over. Kurbalo was on for an excellent Aaron Smith. So great to see Kurbalo on, but Aaron Smith should be proud.
Metallic wins the line out. Just tipped down there by Horwell, and Kurbalo does a 360 and takes off.
And the advantage is over.
This one coming down just on the Wallaby side of halfway. Genia wants it. Genia gets it and does well. He hands it off to Moen. Kurandrani in a bit of space. Trying to get away from McCaw. Now Falau finally gets a go. Sevilla sticks with him and he fires it in field and finds McCaw.
Onside, yeah, goal.
And Kurbalo, as the All Blacks scramble back in defence, does the job himself. It's a shallow kick though. It's been popped up here for Genia. Now Cooper fires it away to Ashley Cooper. Now Leali'ifano. Moore gets there. Cooper sends it away for Horwell. Another lion-hearted performance by James Horwell. Cooper looking to step his way through. It's been knocked down by an All Black and knocked on.
How about the second half performance of Julian Sevilla? That was a great chase to pull down Falau there, and then he got straight up and chased the kick and got him again.
Yeah, he did. And Falau was flying as well, but he held well. And there's some concerns you can see there for Aaron Cruden. Watch Sevilla here. Shadows, and backs his speed. Backs his speed to catch Falau. And like you say, pops straight back to his feet. And from there, Kurbalo kicked, and he chased Sevilla.
Problem here for Aaron Cruden, so don't be too surprised if you see Odie Barrett in jersey 22. He's about set to pounce.
Get him off. And I don't mean that in a horrible way. You know, he's too important with Carter injured, and he's had such an influence on tonight's game. There's no point in risking him, I don't think. He'll want to stay out there, obviously, every player does.
I reckon McCaw will want to stay out there because everyone said he couldn't.
Just to prove a point.
Yeah.
Goal ball.
Cruden's going to leave by the look of it.
2-1, cheers. Thanks for your work. Boys, come back off to the scrum. James, off to the scrum.
What an outstanding performance by Aaron Cruden.
Yep.
There were concerns, mainly I must say around the goal kicking, Justin, but once he landed that one from the sideline in the first few minutes, no worries.
He was fine. And
So Barrett on, and for the Wallabies, Fainga is on, and also much talked about Scott Seo in jersey 17.
He's on debut. As Aaron Cruden gets rather gingerly to the bench. Of course, they've got to back up again in 7 days.
that's right.
Both of these teams in Wellington, earthquakes permitting.
Bind. Set. Yes, no.
So Genia gets it in and
Feed.
Yeah. Straight. Upgrade to penalty, second one.
I don't think he's helping himself, Genia, because what he's doing, what he wants to do is tell his hooker when he's going to put the ball in. So he's banging the ball on the hooker's arm, and then he's got to go down and try and get it to the ground and get it in. And all that time, the scrum's wobbling and moving all over the place.
Kick from Beauden Barrett is not out. And the Wallabies look like they're going to try something rather exciting from their inside their own 22. Kurandrani. Conrad Smith hangs on. Here's Ben Smith off again.
They won't stop him.
Hat-trick. Free for Ben Smith. And the All Blacks are up to 45.
And they're getting desperate, the Wallabies. They tried to move the ball. They didn't have enough numbers here. But what has epitomised this performance tonight has been the defensive pressure from the All Blacks, particularly when the Wallabies are trying to get out of their own half. Look at the black jerseys there. The ball skews out the side of the ruck. And the minute Ben Smith picked it up, this guy knows his way to the try line. He knows it so well this year that you're just not going to stop him, Smithy.
Kurandrani was the ball carrier there, and he's been caught on 2 or 3 occasions. No control there at the back here. Makora's coming off, fellas. We shouldn't miss this moment. He is going to come off at the 72-minute mark, Richie Makora. Sam Cane is on, and yes, Ben Smith has a hat-trick.
Well, they're thrilled about it up in the box. 6 tries, 3 of them by Ben Smith. And he joins a pretty illustrious group of players to have scored a hat-trick against the Wallabies for the All Blacks. Nobody's got 4. As Beauden Barrett takes over the kicking, and he is on song straight away. So 47 to 22. It's the 3rd highest score the All Blacks have put on the Wallabies in over 100 years.
And the 100th win, it looks like it's going to be, unless something miraculous happens.
It won't. So the kickoff has made the Wallabies have it. They've had a fair bit of ball to play with. Here is Sai Fainga. Back for Genia. And the shout of All Blacks goes up around the crowd. Plenty of proud Kiwis in Sydney, that is for sure. As Genia, well, that's forward. That's a mile forward. Yes, the All Blacks put 50 on the Wallabies in 2003.
Please don't remind me about that, Nisbo.
Oh, okay. 49 in Melbourne in 2010.
Do I need to remind you about the feed?
And now 47.
Yeah, the reason I mentioned is
Lonnie,
2003 we put 50 on them, and then we went on to lose the semi-final of the Rugby World Cup against them. How does a team
Right up to the mark,
turn around putting
yeah.
50 points on? So it goes to show you that rugby can change that dramatically in a few months, or a few weeks, or even a week, which it needs to do for Ewan McKenzie and his players. If he was saying he wasn't feeling the pressure prior to this game, well, I'll go he if he's not for next week.
Yeah. Well, the Bledisloe Cup.
Stay there, stay there.
All Blacks have one hand on it.
Crouch.
2003. Aidan Langer was still opening for Australia in those days. Darren Lehman was batting in the top 4, Smithy.
I'll bet they wish they were still playing too, I tell you.
Exactly. Probably still could, to be fair.
Yep, that's fair.
Now here's Kurbalo.
Run away.
Beauden Barrett playing at halfback. Now Reid. Reid almost got through. Luatua quickly swings it away. And here come the All Blacks once more. Kurbalo again. Now Barrett off to Retallick, who's been there for a lot of the game, Brodie Retallick. Now Barrett once more. All Blacks looking for 50. That would be a huge psychological blow. Ball is unprotected and grabbed by Simmons. Now Lealiofano for Cooper. Sends it wide. Guinea is playing in the centres now. And he's showing good pace. Just couldn't release it to Folau.
There it come. Yep.
There's still 4.5 minutes remaining in the game. Fainga.
Right, let it go, 20.
Orwell in there wrestling. Luatua's wrestling with him. And it's been turned over. Good work by Luatua.
Turnover good.
Reid, oh, another turnover. They're coming thick and fast. Folau with no room to work.
Reptile Black.
Lays it back for Genia.
Yes.
That one's wide to Cooper. Well, they've kept it going. Now here's a big bust here from Lealiofano. Held it up, and then the Hooper fell over and knocked it on in the process. And Barrett has slammed it away downfield.
Here comes Severe again, and the ball beats him.
Nice tackle at the back. Barlow had to be made. 19 and 21, so Brumby's duo on for the Wallabies, running out into a very much a lost cause.
Righto, players gone very quickly, and here's James O'Connor.
They've gone out, they better come back.
Pass from Gill, got away. Here's Liliafano again, holding it as long as he can. Beautiful work. Now Cooper looking for somewhere to go, and oh, he's botched it big time. Would have given it away to Kurandrani earlier.
Sure, it's your ball. It's not your ball.
Luatua made the tackle. He's absolutely everywhere. Hands on knees there. He deserves to have them. He's been a workaholic today.
It's quite incredible. The Wallabies had 17 players on at that stage and still couldn't score. Two of them had to run off again.
Just hold there.
They might as well have used them. They were just trying to get off the field, but they might as well have joined in.
So Guinea's brave effort is over. Nick White in the halfback position.
Nialamu throws deep. Whitelock drags it in. Contest again for the ball. Ashley Cooper.
Backward, AJP. Yeah.
You could imagine there'll be some rearrangements in this Wallaby backline. Here's Gill. There's White. Away for O'Connor. And Xavier happy to let it go into touch.
Ollie. Okay.
Just a couple of minutes remaining. And not a lot of time for the Wallabies
I didn't get a good picture on that. I was in the way as well.
to get back for the second Test match next weekend. Nialamu throws deep and doesn't find the man, and it's been snapped up by Fainga. Now carried on by Kepu. White looking blindside, but the All Blacks have that pretty well sewn up. Here's White, though, slipped away from a few of them. Finally, Retallick had to make the tackle. Now White. Here's Cooper. Goes wide this time to Ashley Cooper, stepping. Gill almost got himself in the road there. Now here's Cooper. And he must have heard the call because he looked away.
Right. Here's the mark. Come here.
Oh, hello. Here's a yellow.
Yeah, Sam Whitelock, it was good to start with, but it just, whether it was accidental or not, it just kept happening, unfortunately.
Yep, fine. I saw a move.
So Ashley Cooper, as the Wallabies look to get some sort of consolation try at the end. Nick White. Now he goes short. And the Wallabies driving close.
Try line.
Now here's Cooper getting it wide. Chance for, and a try for James O'Connor. And nicely constructed. And the All Blacks defence can't hold out James O'Connor. But there's not too much excitement in the crowd, it has to be said. This has been an emphatic All Black win.
Certainly has. It's a good pass from White, and it's a really nice pass from Cooper. Nice and flat to O'Connor. They got a great understanding, those two. They got it right that time. Cooper's pass made it. O'Connor onto it at pace. I think he had a mismatch on Faumuina, and they get a consolation, it'd be fair to say, and that's all. That's all.
There's a lot of jubilation and satisfaction on this All Black bench. Right in front of me now, I can tell you, there's just Richie McCaw, there's a lot of embracing going on, and it's a much happier embrace than that one, you can see.
Yeah.
There's a few old legs who've told a story or two tonight. They've kept up with the pace, kept up with the pressure, and they've discovered in Luatua as well, someone that can go 80 minutes with quality.
So just 2 tries by the Wallabies tonight. Lealiofano's goal kicking has been good all night. Final whistle goes, and the All Blacks emerged with a very big win here in the opening game of the Rugby Championship and the Bledisloe Cup. Final score of 47-29.
Well, there was a huge expectation about this test match. The Wallabies under Ewan McKenzie into the new era, and it was a great first half, it has to be said. Competitive, lots of brilliant tries. It was close at half-time, the All Blacks slightly ahead, but the second half, that experience that some may have said might be costing the All Blacks, a little bit too old, was the rumours around Sydney. Well, that experience came through, and they scored some exceptional tries and shut the Wallabies out, and they've come a long way, the All Blacks, but the Wallabies have shown they've still got a long way to go to try and catch this remarkable team who just seem to be gathering momentum and strength and playing at an exceptional high tempo and great levels of physicality as well. They've shut this team down and shut them down with ease, and this man epitomises what this current All Black team has accomplished and achieved.
And 100 test wins for the All Blacks against the Wallabies.